right, welcome back. We're diving into the 11th chapter of Hatim's epic journey. And let me tell you, our heroes have just paid a huge price for their survival. Still reeling from a major loss, their quest is about to get even crazier, taking a perilous descent, literally underground. So the story picks right back up on this really somber note. Hatim, Hobo, and Naira are alive, yes, but they've just lost a dear companion. You can just feel that weight hanging over them. But here's the thing. There's no time to grieve. They are forced to keep moving. With literally no other way to go, their journey takes them straight down deep, deep beneath the earth. They're heading into this treacherous, unknown world. And as we're about to see, the danger of the underground is very, very real. Now they're starving, they're exhausted, and then they find what looks like a miracle, a room just filled with food. And of course, Hobo, being Hobo, he just rushes right in to eat, and bam, the door slams shut. Yeah, this isn't a safe haven. It's a trap. And then comes the chilling reveal. Their captors, a subterranean tribe, finally show up. And their intentions, oh, they couldn't be clearer with this one horrifying line. They don't see our heroes as prisoners. They see them as the main course, just fattening them up for the slaughter. So how in the world can they get out of this one? They're brought before the cannibal queen, who gets to decide their fate. And, it's somehow even worse than they imagined. They're not just going to be eaten. No, they get thrown to her champion, this terrifying one-horned monster that lives down in a pit. But Hatim, he never backs down. He goes right at this beast, bravely confronting it, dodging its attacks, and all the while protecting his friends. And then, in this amazing moment of pure heroism, he lands a decisive blow right to its head. Monster vanquished. And what's even better? Defeating it reveals a hidden tunnel, a way back to the surface. Their escape. But here's the thing. While Hatim is down there, fighting for his life, the forces of evil are definitely not taking a break. Up on the surface, a villain's conspiracy is brewing, and we've got old and new enemies all plotting his downfall. So you can really feel the pressure building on the villain's side. Dajjal is just furious that Hatim is still alive, and he's taking it out on his astrologer Nujumi. Now, Nujumi's trying to explain that Hatim's luck has gotten stronger thanks to his friends, but really, to save his own skin, Nujumi reveals he's got an ace up his sleeve. There's already a new hunter on Hatim's trail. And this new threat? His name is Magyar. Now, on paper, he's a commander for the villain Pasha. But his real motivation, it's way more personal. See, he was the spurned suitor of Nadira, and now he is driven entirely by a thirst for vengeance against Hatim. Yeah, that metaphor Najumi uses is just perfect, right? It explains exactly why Magyar is so incredibly dangerous. Think about it. Unlike Dajjal's other goons, he isn't in this for power or loyalty. He's a wounded snake. He's driven by a broken heart and pure hatred, which makes him totally unpredictable and a lethal threat to both Hatim and Nadira. And this new threat? He doesn't waste any time. Just when our heroes finally get a second to breathe, their entire quest gets flipped on its head with the abduction of the magical child. Okay, so picture this. The group is resting by a pond, and bam! Magyar and his soldiers ambush them. It's total chaos. In the middle of it all, Magyar snatches the magical child and just bolts. Hatim tries to go after him, but he's stuck fighting off the soldiers. By the time he's free, it's too late. Magyar is long gone, and he has their most important companion. Right when it feels like all hope is lost, a powerful wizard named Udin just appears out of thin air. Turns out he was summoned by the child's desperate cry for help, and his arrival, well, it's about to change absolutely everything. Udin immediately raises the stakes to a whole new level. He reveals that the child isn't just magical. He's one of 7 good wizards. Their collective power is literally the only thing maintaining the balance between good and evil in the world. So, if the child is lost, the entire world risks being swallowed by darkness. Yeah, Hatim's quest just went from personal to saving the world. To give Hatim a fighting chance, Udin makes the ultimate sacrifice. He creates this incredibly powerful magical weapon, a Chamatkari Hathiyar, from his own bones. This thing can destroy any evil power it touches, but, and this is a huge but, it can only be used once. Udin tells Hatim, save this for a villain named Pasha. So now armed with this one-shot superweapon, Hatim tracks the child to the villain Pasha. And this leads us right into Pasha's web of illusion, where we get to see just how ambitious and how cruel this new bad guy really is. So Magyar delivers the child to Pasha, and Pasha lays out his terrifying master plan. He's going to sacrifice the child during an imminent solar eclipse. He believes this ritual will let him absorb all the child's power, making him the most powerful wizard in the world, even more powerful than Dajjal. Hatim and his friends bust in just in time to confront Pasha. But Pasha? He was ready for them. In one swift, cruel move, he magically steals Nadira's powers of sight, leaving her completely blind. And then, before Hatim can even think about using that bone weapon, Pasha's entire palace just lifts off the ground and flies away, leaving our heroes stranded and totally defeated. Just when things couldn't look any worse, a tiny glimmer of hope appears. They're found by a group of villagers who were also blinded by Pasha, and they tell Hatim about an ancient prophecy. A prince from a distant land is destined to defeat their oppressor. And guess who they think that hero is? Yep, they believe it's Hatim. Okay, so how do you even get to a flying fortress? Well, the villagers tell them the path to Pasha is blocked by his really formidable gatekeeper. This is their next big challenge, a guy named Argus. Now, Argus is not your average guard. He's Pasha's half-brother, and he is a terrifying creature just covered in hundreds of eyes. And here's the kicker. Some of his eyes are always open, even when he's asleep. This makes him perpetually vigilant and, seemingly impossible to surprise. But the villagers also know his one weakness, and it's a big one. As long as even one of his eyes is open, a magical shield makes him invincible. But if they can somehow trick all of his eyes into closing at the very same time, that shield and all his powers just vanish, leaving him totally vulnerable. So fighting him head-on is a suicide mission. The only way to beat Argus is through pure deception. They have to create an illusion so real, so compelling, that it actually tricks his waking eyes into closing, convincing him to shut every single one of them at once. And this brings us to the final, shocking cliffhanger of the episode. Who could possibly perform such a powerful illusion? Well, in the most surprising turn imaginable, Hobo, the comic relief, the guy whose magic almost always backfires, he steps up and says he can do it. He even admits his magic is unreliable, but he's their only shot. Everything, and I mean everything, now rests on his one attempt. Can his wacky, unpredictable magic possibly be the key to saving the day?